Alrighty, hi. This is just a quick overview. This is the second video I'm going to do. I've already done the introductory video, and this is going to be the overview. This is going to be the quick overview of my stories, the 5 of them. I'm just going to talk quickly about them. And, so the first one, we're just going to get right into it, but the first one is called House of Sin, and it is about the original 7 deadly sins of, I don't know, the Catholic religion, Christian religion, anyway. And they are personified as 7 girls that it starts out as their seniors in high school, and there are 3 arcs that are adapted to either 3 books or 3 movies, hopefully 3 movies, and then there's a TV series that'll go along with it. But, so there are 7 girls, and it starts out kind of comedic and stuff like that. It's more of a funny story as you get into the girls first awaken as, because they don't always know, you know, that they are the 7 deadly sins, and then they kind of awaken, and then it goes through, and it gets more serious as stuff happens, and they have to go through the trials and everything. But it's kind of like a drama. It's a drama, comedy drama, gets more serious, more action, there's lots of action. It's based off of Magical Girl anime, so, like Sailor Moon, it's kind of like that. But, so yeah, if you like Sailor Moon, then you'll probably like this, or those kind of stories, you'll probably like this one. But I'm going to try and make it more so everybody would like it versus just like young girls, you know, shoujo or whatever that is. But anyway, so there'll be a longer overview on all my stories and everything, but that was just quick synopsis. I think that's how you say that word. But anyway, moving on to my second story. It's called Locker 1526, and when I first wrote it, it was just me and a bunch of my friends for each of the characters, and it was a comedy kind of, and it got, the characters started getting taken more away from actual people that I know into actual characters, but some of them still retained some of the characteristics of the people I knew, and it became more serious, so now it's become more of a drama, and it's not like the other movie where it progresses from comedy to drama. It's an actual, like, drama from beginning to end, but it's got some comedy thrown in, and, the title actually, it's like Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, and The Labyrinth all mixed together, kind of. But it's not going to be like exactly that. But it does have themes and motifs and throwbacks to the 3 stories and stuff like that. The actual title, it used to be called, when it was a comedy, it was called Yellow Bricks and Candy Sticks. But later it was called Through the Locker, because instead of a rabbit hole, she falls through a locker. But then I changed it to Locker 1526, because 15 in the alphabet is 0 and 26 is Z. So Oz, Locker, Oz. Get it? Yeah. But so, that's basically what it's about and everything like that. And, it's instead of more like Alice in Wonderland, like Disney, kind of like that, it's more of, like Seeing Red or Through the Looking Glass Wars, like the Looking Glass Wars trilogy. So if you like those kinds of stories and stuff, it's more of like, you know, when people are like, she went back to Oz, but it was all more mature. Yes, it's a more mature kind of thing, but I don't want it to be, it's not like a downfallen Oz, it's just a completely different world altogether. But, moving on to my next story, it's called Dancing Like the Moonlight, and it follows the whole mythical creatures falling in love with each other kind of theme going on. And it's about a Kelpie, which is an Irish horse. It's from folklore, Irish folklore, and they are horses that live in rivers, and they'll come out of the river and they'll lure children onto their back, and then they'll run really fast so the children can't get off into the water where they'll eat everything but their liver and their heart or something like that. And it's about a Kelpie clan, and then also a werewolf that fall in love, and then there's vampires in it as well, along with other cultural half-human, half-beast you know, mythical creatures and stuff, but they're not as into it. And it's more of, it doesn't focus on the whole, like, forbidden, I mean, there's the forbidden love, it's a love story, but it doesn't focus on that they're mythical creatures so much. It more focuses on the love aspect of it. They just happen to be mythical creatures, you know. And so I'll talk about it more, but that one's a love story, forbidden love story. The next one that I have, the next story I have is based off of Revolutionary Girl Utena anime, and it doesn't have the whole sword playing thing. It's not based off of it. It was inspired by that because of all the relationships between all the characters. And a lot of the stories that I've written, and not written, but, you know, thought about and contributed to throughout my lifetime have been lots of action, lots of weapons, swords, like people flying all over the place, you know, you know, that kind of stuff. And I wanted to make a more dynamic writer of myself, creator of myself, by giving myself, it's not, it's kind of like a drama. It would be like a TV drama, kind of, but yeah, it would be a TV drama. That's what it would be. But it wouldn't be like, it's about relationships, okay? There's nothing action about it. There's nothing mythical or magical about it. It's just, there are two groups that are interlocked of teenagers and young adults and their relationships among each other. Another show that is kind of like it is Skins from the UK. I love that show. I never watched the second cycle, though, the second generation. Like, I watched the first 2 seasons, you know, but I didn't watch about the younger sister and all her friends. But it's just, you know, like, I love you, but he loves me, but I kind of love you, and, you know, and it's just that kind of going on, you know, and it's a lot of complicated feelings. And so I was trying to get more into, like, really complicated writing, you know. But that's what that one's about. So that one's more of a dramatic romance thing going on. And then the last story that I have not worked on in a very long time, but I just found the folder for, it's called Awakenings. And this was actually based on, not based, but the characters are all written like my family, because I have a very strange family tree, and so each character has a person in my family, but that's where it stops, okay? I try to steer away from Mary Sue's and everything like that, so if anything sounds like Mary Sue, please do let me know. But there are some characters that I made specifically into Mary Sue's, but not in this story, though. But it's about a land, mythical second parallel universe. It's kind of like Bleedman. I don't know if any of you have read his webcomics, the Grim Tales by Bleedman. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should go Google it, because it's really good. In fact, I will link it down there. But I'll probably link all of this stuff that I talked about. But it's got all the fairy tales. Each person's a fairy tale, and what happens is the main antagonist kidnaps one of the princesses and brings her into our world, and then they're each reborn as they come in and everything, and then reawaken. That's one of my anime girls, like one of my favorite things to write about. So that's mostly what those two, House of Sin and Awakenings, are quite similar, but not. But yeah. So it's about 4 young girls in junior high or middle school, depends on where you're from. But they just kind of, you know, have to become more mature and stuff. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I'm kind of running out of time. That was basically it. I'll link everything. Those were my basic overviews. There will be greater overviews for each individual story, and just check all that out. Those will probably be later, though. I don't have time for that right now. But yeah, click subscribe, like, you know, and check the box. I don't know. Check the box for links. Okay, bye.